Welcome to East Bay Raceway Park. I'm DJ Johnson. Night 4. We're with the winner of Night 3, Greg Hodnett. And Greg, great night last night. You were in the right position at the right time. Night 4, a little different conditions with the racetrack. What do you think in your third in points right now? You're not sitting in too bad of a position.
Yeah, no, we're considering the first couple of days. I think we're in a pretty good spot, but we'd always like to be on the front row where we wouldn't have to pass anybody. But now being in the top 6 where you don't have to run a heat race, have to take a chance on tearing our car up, I think it's going to be in a pretty good spot for us for the feature. But even when you get in there, you got to run 50 hard, good laps, and it's going to take its toll on motors, and like it did ours last night, and tires and everything else. So we're just going to try to keep our tires in under us and keep it going forward, and at the end of 50 laps, hopefully be up front.
The Lee Stafford Wrench team is prepared that they did the motor swap, and they're confident that they'll be okay for tonight?
Yeah, we actually had to put a motor when we crashed last week at Volusia. We don't know if we hurt it, but we can't use it just as a cautionary method. We're going to take it back and look at it before we run it again. So we're pretty much down to our last motor, which we ran it at Volusia also, but it's about a 4-year-old motor, so it's not up to today's standards, but in a 50-lap race, it's good, it's reliable, and we're going to hopefully be there at the end. That's what we're looking for.
The winner of Night 3, Greg Hodnett.
Thanks. What are we selling?
Strawberries.
What do you got?
Strawberry.
Look at that, how beautiful.
Gather up his toys and his chew toys. And I just meant to put them in there, get them all out from the other room.
We're with Jason Johnson. And Jason, were you surprised to do as well as you have this week? Right now, you're sitting well in the points. You've done really well. And were you surprised?
Well, I mean, it's a real tough down here. Well, we run back at home, we run real good, and yeah, we're surprised to be up front with these guys because there's a lot of outlaw teams out here, so that makes it really tough.
Now, when you run with these guys, and when you run an all-star race, you're one of some of the best cars in the country, and especially in Florida. When you come in here, what were your realistic expectations? Did you just want to qualify, or what did you really set your goals to do?
Well, really, our goals were to try to stay in the top 10. That was one of our main goals. There at the end of the year, run with the Outlaws, running real good, and my car owner really didn't cut any expense. He bought real nice equipment, and we have fresh motors, so we're shooting for the top 10.
Now, you have experience in the 360s. You'd obviously like to run the 410s. What are some of your plans for 2001?
Right now for 2001, my option is to run 360. This is what this team's from, and that's what they want to do. I don't have much option of running much 410. We do have one 410 motor, and we're going to run it as much as we can.
Jason Johnson's doing very well this week at East Bay Raceway for the 25th anniversary Winternationals. We're with a surprise guest, and this man, you may not know this face, but you may know those fingers, or at least what he does. We are looking at hosehead.com himself, Alan Holland. And Alan, since you got involved with the website, now involved with Open Wheel, you see you at a lot of big races. The sprint car thing's been a lot of fun for you so far.
Oh yeah, it's been great. I've gotten a lot of places at Chili Bowl and down here, and last year I was down here, plus Knoxville, and get to meet people like you.
Sorry about that.
Well, you have to go with the bad sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Now, when you don't always get to see a lot of the races because you try to write as much as you can, give the lineups and updates, and for those folks at home, at any time during the season at a big race, you're always providing updates. That has to be rewarding to you, and I'm sure you get a lot of emails about that.
Oh yeah, it works great. Some tracks you can do it right from the press box where there's a phone line and you can see the races while it's happening. And some places you can't really do that. Like here, you have to come down to the press trailer where the phone line is to do that. I guess I should be looking at the camera instead of you, huh?
Look at whatever you want.
Yeah, you can do it right from the press box, but here you can't do that. A lot of places you can't do that. So, but it's a lot easier if you can do if the phone line's in the press box. They're going to do that here next year, they said.
Great. Webmaster and funny man, Alan Holland at hoseheads.com.
The Duke of Disaster, and he's got gas leaking out of the car that he's in, just so y'all know at least something leaking out. Here he goes, headed down into the flaming wall. Ho! Oh, good thing nobody was sitting in the back of that car. gentlemen, welcome to the final night of East Bay's 25th anniversary Winternationals. I'm Ken Sands, and my partner on the microphone, Jack Miller, is not with us this evening. He's feeling a little under the weather, so he left me here to fend for myself, but I'm going to do the best I can do.
Star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, and $100 for this heat race going to the winner. Compliments of Buddy Griffin and Blue Ribbon Farms. For each heat race winner tonight, $100 from Buddy Griffin and Blue Ribbon Farms. So thank you, Buddy, for your continued support here at East Bay. Green flag out on the field, Tim Schaefer, but here comes Jason Sides. Hides goes to the high side. Only 3 cars are going to make it to the A main. It's Tim Schaefer, Terry McCarl, Jason Sides, Sean Michael, Blake Feast. Still Tim Schaefer, Terry McCarr running second, Jason Sides third, Sean Michael fourth, Blake Feast fifth, Ellenberger sixth, Trainer seventh, Walter eighth, Campbell ninth, Hart 10th. Those are your 10 cars. Two more laps to go for Tim Schaefer. Coming around for the checkered flag, the number 45, Tim Schaefer gets the win. Coming home in second, Terry McCarl in the 8H car. Third place car will be Jason Sides. Those 3 will make it to the A main. Just missing a spot. Blake Feast. Sean Michael finishing 5th. Ellenberger in the 20 finishing in 6th. So, Danny Smith and Lance DeWeese, Wayne Johnson and Todd Gracie. Field. Smith takes the early lead. Lance DeWeese second. Wayne Johnson third. Don't count out Todd Gracie. He's been fast all week long. In that Ford-powered number 25 car. Going to the high side. It's still Danny Smith, Lance DeWeese, Wayne Johnson, Todd Gracie, Scott Bunnell, Mike Wagner, Greg Wilson, Larry Pinnaker, Doug Day, and Johnny Johnson. It's the halfway point, halfway home. It's still Danny Smith out front. Still Smith with Lance Deweese second. Tries down on the inside of Smith, but Smith prevails down the back stretch. Lance Deweese now tries to dive one more time. It'll be 2 more laps to go. 2 to go. White flag for Danny Smith. Coming out for the checkered flag, getting the win in the number 4 car, Danny Smith. Deweese comes home in second, Wayne Johnson third. That same weekend, it's in November, so if you're interested in going, stop down. It's $25 off if you buy your tickets now for the Fall National program coming up in November. Jeff Shepard and Brooke Weibly sitting on that front row. Danny Wood and Len Thompson. Kenny Jacobs, Ed Lynch Jr., Dean Jacobs, Tim Montgomery, John Sourmilch Jr., and Chris Borgman. Looking for the green. Green coming out of turn 4. Shepard takes the early lead. Yellow is going to come out. Be a complete restart. Starter Kenny Marshall looks the field over as they look for the white stripe in the line on turn 4. Shepard, Weibly, Shepard gets high, Weibly dives down a little bit, Shepard gets the bite coming out of turn number 2. Here comes Danny Wood. Wood dives down on the inside, takes over second. Danny Wood, the 2000 Rookie of the Year of the World of Outlaws, now running in second. Weibly third, Len Thompson in fourth. They battle it out for the final qualifying spot. Thompson dives inside as the yellow will come out for Chris Borgman, looping it in turn number 4. Looking for the green. Green flag coming out. They can't pass before the cone. Jeff Shepard, Danny Wood still running 1 and 2. Weibly and Lenny Thompson battle it out for the final qualifying spot for Weibly. Here comes Thompson. Don't count out Jacobs. Or Lynch to get together. Oh! Len Thompson now runs in third and final qualifying spot. Danny Jacobs takes the number 6 to the infield. Two laps to go for Jeff Shepard. Danny Wood begins to close the door on the gap on Jeff Shepard. However, checker flag comes out. Shepard gets the win. Wood second. Lenny Thompson third. Those are your 3 cars making it to the main. Coming home in fourth in the 32 is Brooke Lively, Dean Jacobs, Tim Montgomery, Ed Lenz Jr. Those all will be relegated to the Season B mains. Well, the Jared Boniford Ford pace truck going to go to the infield. Craig Delansky and Sammy Swindell on the front row. Green out on the field. No start. We're going to try one more time. Craig Delansky and Sammy Swindell, Byron Reed and Chad Kemenaugh, Kurt Winker, Stephen King, Shank, Waltman, Hull, and Jasma. We're going green. Swindell gets the bite. Coming down the front stretch. Oh, takes over the lead. Yellow. All right, looking the field over, they got to stay outside the orange cone down here on the front stretch. They cannot pass before then. Green is out. Your leader, Swindell, Delansky second, Kemenaugh third. The battle will be coming up for third with Stephen King and Chad Kemenaugh. Only 3 cars are going to make it to the big show. $25,000 on the line tonight. Coming about halfway this time around. Halfway home. Sammy Swindell, Craig Delansky. Still running 1 and 2. Kemenaugh still hanging on for third. Byron Reed in fourth. Jared Hull fifth. Stephen King now running in sixth. As Swindell gets the 2-lap signal. 2 more times around the 1/3 mile oval. Checker flag coming out for Sammy Swindell. Craig Delansky coming home in second, and Chad Kemena, third place. So taking the fourth heat win and moving to the main is Sammy Swindell. Craig Delansky second, and Chad Kemena hanging on for third. Those are your three cars making it to tonight's A main event. Your fifth and final heat race. All right. White flag coming out. Duncan, Flynn, Ryland, McMahon, Neer, Brown, Bush, Bastillo, and Pletch. Green out on the field. Duncan, Ryland, and Flynn side by side. Rodney Duncan, Ryan Flynn, Travis Ryland, Jim Neer, Paul McMahon. Only three are going to the main. Rodney Duncan, Ryan Flynn, Travis Ryland, still the three cars advancing at this point. Flynn gets the lead from Rodney Duncan. Ryan Flynn gets the two-lap signal. One more. White flag out for Ryan Flynn as Rodney Duncan and Travis Ryland run second and third, but Jim Neer begins to move in on the back bumper of Travis Ryland. They're coming around with a checkered flag. It'll be the checkered this time around. Well, taking the win out of Chico, California in the F1 car, flying Ryan Flynn. Rodney Duncan comes home in second, and third goes to the U2W of Travis Ryland. Those are your three cars making it to tonight's A main event. All right, here we go. Danny Lasowski, Greg Hodnett, Jason Johnson, Ron Laney, Tim Schaefer, and Danny Smith. Those are your six cars are going. They're going 6 laps, $1,000 coming home to the winner. And I don't think that was a very good start, so we're going to come back and try it one more time. Well, Danny Lasowski gets the bite and the lead. Hodnett second, Laney third, Johnson, Schaefer, and Smith. Danny the Dude Lasowski running away in the number 20 car. Craig Hodnett, last night's feature winner, running in second. Ronald Laney third. Jason Johnson fourth. The battle for fifth between Tim Schaefer and Danny Smith at the halfway point. All right. Yeah, I got to sneak in over here. Well, here he is, the winner of the Hallmark Trailers Dash and $1,000. Danny Lasowski, congratulations. The track looks a little different tonight than it has the last couple.
Yeah, it really does. Looks like we're going to be running all over this place tonight. Maybe we'll put on a better show for you folks. This makes up for Delansky beating our track record. He took our money from us, but it's been, all in all, it's been a great week, and we just hope we can top it off with a win tonight.
You just wanted some more strawberries too, right?
Yes, sir. Mr. Goodson, we got to thank him. I'll tell you what, there's no better strawberries in the world from him.
All right, Danny Lasowski, tonight's Hallmark Dash winner. Well, green flag out on the field. Only 4 cars are going to make it. Larry Pinnaker, Dean Jacobs, Raymond Shank, and Kurt Trainer. Greg Wilson 1 spot out of a qualifying. Dean Jacobs checking out on the field. Larry Pinnaker, Raymond Shank, Kurt Trainer, and Greg Wilson. Tim Montgomery, Tom Bush, David Waltman, Jared Hall, Terry Pletch, Jeremy Campbell, Joe Bastillo, Doug Day, Kenny Hart. Coming up on halfway home for Dean Jacobs. Yellow on the field, yellow. For 2 guys that were running up near the top, Raymond Shank and the 29 of Kurt Trainer. So only 4 cars making it, so it's going to be tough for them to work their way back up through this field. Green flag out. Dean Jacobs, Greg Wilson, Larry Pinnaker, and now there's Tim Montgomery up in fourth. Those are the four going at the B main at this point. White flag, waving white flag. Checkered going to come out this time around for Dean Jacobs. Dean Jacobs gets the win. Greg Wilson second. Tim Montgomery third and Larry Pinnaker fourth. Those are your four cars making it to tonight's B main event. 22 car to winner of the Georgia Marketing and Promotions C main event, Dean Jacobs.
60 Rookie of the Year for 2000. Congratulations.
All right, well, Jeremy Campbell, the 2000 Rookie of the Year for the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly. So we're very proud to present this award to for the National 360 Media Member of the Year Award for 2000 to Florida's own Doug Auld for all his fine work with open wheel and sprint car racing. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Craig. Thank you for everything you and Tom Schmay do with the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, and with this is an honor, and I really look forward to getting to this. This is fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Thank you, Stan, and appreciation from the All-Star Circuit of Championships, what you've done for us, what you've done for these race fans, and what you've done for sprint car racing. I'd like to give you a plaque. It says congratulations on your 21st anniversary to Stanley Cole and the staff at East Bay Raceway 2001. The All-Stars proudly share in your success. We want to thank you, Stan.
Thank you very much. I share this award with Miss Joyce Pravat, who gave us 21 years of keeping East Bay here. Joyce is upstairs. We'll talk to her later on, just before the beginning of the main. But Joyce, this is yours also. Thank you. You're a lovely lady.
All right, that concludes our awards. Now let's go racing with tonight's B main. Well, all 20 cars are out there. A big field going. 7 of them. 7 cars making it to the A main. The rest are eligible for the Strawberry Dash draw. Green out on the field. Sean, Michael, Brooke, Wadley, Todd, Gracie, running 1, 2, and 3. Byron Reed, Blake Feast, Kurt Winker, Kenny Jacobs. Those are your 7 cars right now. Michael. Todd Gracie running in second, Weidley third. Byron Reed fourth. Blake Feast fifth. Winker sixth. Paul McMahon in seventh. Coming up on 2 laps to go for Shawn Michael. Todd Gracie, Brooke Weidley, Byron Reed, Blake Feast, Paul McMahon, and Kurt Winker. All right, your winner of the TW Medals B Main out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, Shawn Michael. Greg Wilson and Johnny Johnson on the front row. Jared Hull and Stephen King in row 2. Jeremy Campbell, Terry Pletch, Kenny Jacobs, Byron Brown, Ed Lynch, Doug Day, and Joe Bastillo, green out on the field. Wilson gets the early bite, but right on his back bumper, it's Stephen King. 10 laps. Here comes Kenny Jacobs up to the field, the defending champion of the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Greg Wilson halfway home to a $3,000 paycheck. right, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 10-lap Strawberry Dash and getting $3,000 for his work. Greg Wilson, congratulations. I know you wanted to make the A-main and be going for $25,000, but you know what? Your car comes home in one piece. You get $3,000, and you get to watch a hell of a race.
Yeah, I mean, we worked on our car all night long, and it's starting to take some rubber, but, man, it's nice to win some money here at East Bay. I'd like to thank Mr. Goodson here for putting up this money and this dash. It's great for drivers who ain't got a lot of money and are struggling down here, and it's just awesome.
All right, tonight's Strawberry Dash winner, Greg Wilson. I believe they told me that Danny Dixon has escaped and stolen a navigator. I don't know whose navigator it might be. All right, here they are. They're going to come around four abreast. Everybody stand up, wave your hat, wave your hanky, wave your program. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen, the drivers and the owners. Salute to the stands. All right. Pace vehicles clearing the surface. The Jared Boniford Ford Pace truck will bring them around one more time. We'll go green flag racing with the boys from Texas on the front row, Gary Wright and Rapid Ronald Laney. Starter Bev Thompson looks the field over, looking to give him green, coming out of four. The white stripe is down. Gary Wright, the Hooks Texas Hot Shoes, sets the pace. It is out. Joey Saldana puts the pedal to the metal right at the start. Saldana, Wright, Laney, Hodnett, Schaefer. It's still Joey Saldana, Gary Wright, Ronald Laney, Greg Hodman, Tim Schaefer, and the dude, Danny Lasoski. Yellow, Jason Sides. Oh, no, he's still going. Oh, yellow comes out. Green flag coming back out for Joey Saldana. Whoa, the 21 yellow. Oh, Barney makes his way back to the infield. We're looking for the green. Kenny Marshall. Looking, there we go. Gary Wright puts the pedal to the metal, but don't count Ron. Rapid Ron Laney out, as he's been fast out of the box. Memphis, Tennessee's Greg Hodnett, last night's feature winner, running in third. The Pennsylvania, Tim Schaefer. Wright still leads the way. Getting ready to put us on lap traffic. Gary Wright puts a lap on Blake Feast. Feast goes to the high side in the Mulligan Engineering number 3 car. Here comes Rapid Ronnie. Ronnie now running in second, trying to reel in the right man. Gary Wright. These two from Texas have tangled many times in the 360s. Laney's going to go to the high side. Here he goes down for the lead. Oh, Gary Wright closes the door. Oh no, Jason Sides gets together with Kurt Winker. Sides has a flat tire. Woo! Kind of like this, and he reeled Gary Wright in that night, half a lap behind him. Well, Jason Sides, well, he got a new right rear on that car, so he'll go tail side. Meanwhile, Gary Wright out of Hooks. Ronald Laney out of Humble. Wright has the lead. Laney still second. Hodnett third. Johnson fourth. Schaefer, Lasowski, Delansky, Shepard, Johnson. But here comes flying Ryan Flynn in the F1 car, going to the high side. Danny Smith closes the door on him. Upside down, Sammy Swindell takes a wild ride on the backstretch. Red flag. Well, Sammy Swindell is okay, ladies and gentlemen. Sammy Swindell is okay. Took a wild ride, but the report from the scene is that Sammy Swindell is okay. He went over a couple of times down there on the backstretch. Well, they towed the Channel Lock number 1 car off on the hook after taking a pretty violent flip down the backstretch. So Sammy is okay, though. All crews, please start gathering up your equipment and make your way Off of the racing surface, please. All crews clear the racing surface. Flying, Ryan Flynn, Lance DeWeese, Todd Gracie, Brooke Widley, Byron Reed, Rodney Duncan, Sean Michael, Paul McMahon, Chad Kemenow, Travis Rada, Kurt Winker, and Jason Sides. We're going green. Your leader continues to be Gary Wright. Here goes Delansky to the high side. Craig Delansky trying to find the fast way around on the upper groove. Gary Wright, Ron Laney, 17 laps of the 50-lapper in the books. Well, yellow car stopped on the backstretch. Well, Todd Gracie in that Ford powered number 25 car. High green flag coming back out. Tim Schaefer tries to make a move on Hotnet. Meanwhile, Delansky still going to the high side. Right, Laney, Hodnet, Schaefer, Delansky, Johnson, Dulasaski. Looks like Flying Ryan Flynn sitting up in turn number 3. Green flag coming back out. 3 wide for second. Now Laney pulls away. Here comes Delansky. Delansky going to the high side. Looking for some racing room. Craig Delansky. Halfway. We're halfway home. Ronald Laney, Greg Hodnett, Tim Schaefer. Well, lap traffic now begins to play a role as Gary Wright puts a lap on Jason Sides. Now he's getting ready to lap fellow Texan Travis Riley. Laney now starts to make his moves in traffic. Rapid Ronald Laney. Gary Wright, Ronald Laney right now on his back bumper. More to go for Gary Wright. Ronald Laney tries to close in on him. It'll be 15 to go this time around. 15 more to go. Laps beginning to unwind. Lieutenant Kurt Winker comes to a stop. Yellow will come out on the field. Gary Wright has led from the onset. All right, the Jarrett Bonifant Ford 25th anniversary edition going to the infield. Gary Wright, 12 laps away from a $25,000 paycheck. Ronald Laney sets his sights on Gary Wright. To go. Yellow. Our driver is out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the 29 of Wayne Johnson. Taking a pretty wild ride. Gary Wright continues to dominate the field at this point. 8 laps to go. Hodnett third, Schaefer fourth, Delansky fifth, Lasowski, Johnson, McCarl, Shepard. To go this time around. 5 more times for the Texan Gary Wright. Coming out on the field one more time around for Gary Wright. There's your winner and $25,000, Richard. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the $25,000 410 Winternationals, Gary Wright. Congratulations. I know you started on the pole, but you know what? No race is ever easy. And the track looked like it was pretty hard and slick.
It really was. You know, I got to thank a lot of help. I don't have any full-time help, but my dad, Ernie, Lindy, Fred, they all, I mean, they don't do this very often, but they did all they could do tonight. Mountain Tires. The Maxim chassis was great, Salina engine, the Hoosier tires, but we've had a tough week all week. We just, you know, we was racing good, couldn't qualify, and but boy, we sure got it lucky starting on the front row.
Well, I know that there's a fall national coming up, and you'll come back and hopefully win that big one too, and end the year just the way you're starting the year.
Well, I hadn't decided if I'd come back for that one. No, I'm just kidding. No, we'll definitely be back for that. We'll run the 360 and the 410, and it ought to be a heck of a show.
All right, well, Gary Wright, the 410 national champion for 2001. All right, second place finisher Ron Laney. Congratulations on a second place run. I know Gary's tough right out of the get-go. There's a couple times that you looked like you were going to get him in lap traffic, and then the yellow came out and he pulled away. Every time there was an open road in front of him, he just kept pulling away. So lap traffic might have been a difference had there been more lap traffic.
Yeah, if we'd have went green a little longer,
We get to traffic and we can reel him back in traffic. I was trying to save the tire for late, and every time we catch traffic where we'd have a yellow or something, it just didn't work our way. Gary, he's a great racer. All the rest of the 65 cars here are great racers. All the fans are really great. I'd like to thank Stan Cole and everybody for having us down there for these 2 weeks. Just tough competition. East Bay's just a real fast, tough racetrack with a lot of comp.
But I know that every time you are here, you are fast. And will you be back in the fall for the Fall Nationals?
We'll have to check with the owner on that. I'm just a mechanic and a driver.
All right, well, Ron Laney, tonight's second place finisher.
It was one lane or wide open. Now it's a little dry and taking rubber. It's kind of one lane wide open. So unfortunately, we didn't get the best races that sprint car racing does give. But you know, you never know. Sometimes it comes that way, and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, again, I'll ask you the same question. We have a Fall National coming up where we do run a 360 and a 410 show. Hopefully, you'll be able to make it back in the fall and have a good season.
Yeah, I hope so. I know right now the guys aren't planning on going out west, so this is a lot closer to Pennsylvania than Vegas or anything out there. So we would definitely think about it. We didn't know about it till today, but definitely hope to be back this fall and maybe give Gary and Laney there a run for the money. I tell you what, I would like to say that Joey Saldana did a hell of a job tonight. I know you guys, he lost a muffler, but I tell you what, he was checked out and gone. He drove the snot out of that thing, and he really deserved a little bit better. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him, but my hat's off to him.
Iowa third place finisher, Greg Hodneck. Good luck on the 2001 season, and hopefully we'll see you in the fall. All right, well, I guess that's about everybody that's down here. I'm Ken Sands. On behalf of Stan Colin and everybody here at East Bay, we'd like to thank you all for coming out. Hope you enjoyed the race.